Golden. Oh.
Hello.
I'm here, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh. You should be able to see my screen now.
Yes, I can see it. I can see it.
Yes, I
Okay.
can see this.
Okay, so today we're talking about the sure sound. I know we are familiar with the sure sound, but today we're talking about another aspect of the sure sound. This right here is the sure symbol. It's written as 6 to the left. My slash first, 6 to the left, and I close my slash. It is a very weak sound. Some people call it a lazy sound. It is also said to be the most significant sound in English. Aside from that, one very common thing about the schwa sound is that it is an unstressed sound. Unstressed means a sound that we use in unstressed syllables. So we talked briefly about stress before we had a long break, but let's quickly talk about it again to help you understand what I mean by an unstressed sound. In English, when we have a word that has more than one syllable, it is important that we stress a part of the syllable. So the syllable we are stressing is usually called the stressed syllable, while the syllable we are not stressing is usually called the unstressed syllable. So to stress a word means to say the word louder, longer, and clearer. Now, there are two types of stress. We can have the primary stress and the secondary stress. Today, we are focusing on the unstressed syllable, not on the stressed syllables. So for every unstressed syllable that we have in a word, the vowel in such syllable is usually changed, or should I say, reduced into a schwa. So when we have an unstressed syllable, it is either the vowel in that unstressed syllable is reduced into a schwa, or it is reduced into the A sound, or sometimes the E sound, the short E sound. But the common one is the schwa sound, which is the one we are focusing on today. So let's take a few stress rules, for example, to help us identify unstressed syllables. So there is a rule that says that when you have a three-syllabic word, mostly if the word is a noun, we should stress the first syllable. So for example, if I have the word vegetable,
Vegetable.
I'm stressing the first syllable. The second E is silent. So it's not veggie, it's vegetable.
Vegetable.
So the letter A here, naturally, we're supposed to say table. Naturally, we're supposed to say table. But because T here, TA, is in an unstressed syllable, the vowel there has to be reduced into a schwa. It becomes instead of te, it becomes t. Vegetable. Vegetable.
Vegetable.
So here is an
Vegetable.
example. Here is an example of an unstressed syllable. The TA there, we are not stressing it. So because we are not stressing it, it becomes an unstressed syllable. The vowel there, we change it into a schwa. Another is the last E. The last E here, naturally E is supposed to sound eh, but the E here is changed into a schwa as well. Now the schwa moves in between the B and the L. So when we want to pronounce it, we say b, bull, vegetable, vegetable. Another example based on that rule I mentioned is the word calabash. Calabash. So in this word as well, we're stressing the first syllable, cal. Naturally, we're supposed to say calabash, cala. But the second letter A there would not sound A again. It becomes a schwa. So we say calabash, calabash, instead of calabash. We should say calabash. So that is it for the first rule I mentioned. Let's talk about another rule. There is another rule that states that some trisyllabic words that ends in ER, if you have a trisyllabic word, that is a word that has 3 syllables. If it ends in E and R, you're supposed to stress the first syllable. Examples of such word, I can have gardener, gardener, instead of gardener. People say gardener. They feel the word has 2 syllables. No, the word has 3 syllables. Gad. So if I want to stress this, it means I'm only stressing the first syllable. The second and the third syllables are not stressed. So because they are not stressed, we call them unstressed syllables. So the E after the D can be reduced into a schwa, gad. The schwa sound is gad. And also the ER at the end can also be reduced into a schwa, gardener, gardener, instead of gardener. Let's take one more example for this rule. Okay. I can have the word manager, 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 instead of manage. Then naturally, this word is supposed to be manage. The second A there is supposed to sound A, manage, nage. But when you add the suffix er, and it becomes a noun, and it has 3 syllables, we tend to stress the first syllable. So the second and the third syllables, the vowels in there tend to be reduced. So we say manager, manager, manager. Another rule says that if you have a 3-syllabic word that ends in FY or LY, we should also stress the first syllable. If the word has 3 syllables and it ends in LY or FY, we should also stress the first syllable. So if I have the word quantify, excuse me, quantify, or I have the word fatherly, fatherly. So according to the rule, these 2 words have 3 syllables. One ends in FY, the other ends in LY. So the rule says you should stress the first syllable. So the part written in capitals is the part we're stressing. The other part written in lowercase, we aren't stressing them. So it means that at least one of them should be reduced into a schwa. Quantify. Father, father, fatherly. Quantify. In the word quantify, remember I said that when you're reducing a vowel, you can reduce it into any of these 3 sounds. Excuse me. So in the word quantify, the I is reduced into A. Quantify instead of a schwa. It is reduced into A sound. Quantify. Excuse me. Quantify. Fatherly, etc. We also have one last word, one last rule that says that if a word has 3 syllables and it ends in ATE, we should also stress the first syllables. You realize that all the rules I've been talking about are talking about first syllables. We'll still get to second and third. So this is the last rule I will take on the words that are stressed on their first syllables. So if a word has 3 syllables and it ends in ATE, we should also stress the first syllable. So I can have the word concentrate. Concentrate. The word ends in ATE, excuse me, and it has 3 syllables. So I have consonant, the E in the second syllable makes the schwa. Concentrate. Concentrate. I can also have the word calculate. Calculate. It also ends in ATE. I'm stressing cal. The CU there, the U does not change into a schwa. Calculate. So it is the A here, the A in the last syllable that changes into a schwa. Calculate. Please say the words after me. Vegetable. Calabash. Manager. Quantify. Fatherly. Remember to stick out your tongue for the TH in fatherly. Calculate. Concentrate. So I hope you were able to jot down the rule. The rule states that for the first 2 rules, it states that some trisyllabic words are naturally stressed on their first syllable. So I give a hint that if the word is a noun, excuse me, and it has 3 syllables, most times we stress it on the first syllable. Then for all the words here, the rule states that trisyllabic words ending in ER, FY, LY, and ATE are stressed also on their first syllable. So if you have a word that has 3 syllables, if it ends in ER, or it ends in FY, or it ends in LY, or maybe ATE, then you should stress the word on its first syllable. Please, do you understand this rule so I can go to the second rule? So what we're trying to establish here is the fact that when you're pronouncing a word, the stressed syllables should be said louder, longer, and clearer, while the part that you're not stressing, that is called the unstressed syllable. You need to reduce the vowels. Most times, reduce it into a schwa. Let me know if these rules are clear. Hey, you're muted. Are we together? Madam Mary, Madam Madesola, are we together? Hello? I've been talking to myself since my energy. Hello, are we together? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, how about Madam Mary? Can you hear me too? So, Madam Madesola, should I proceed? I was asking if the rule is clear. Should I proceed? Madam Madesola, should I continue? Hello? Should I continue? Okay. So let's go to another rule. The other rule states that some trisyllabic words are naturally stressed on their second syllable. For these kind of words, there are no major reason why they are stressed on their second syllable. But then most of them are stressed on their second syllables. So for some of these words, we have examples like tomato. Tomato. Americans pronounce the word as tomato. We have the word deposit. Deposit. We have the word banana. Banana. So for these type of words, we are stressing their second syllable. But even though we are stressing their second syllable, the parts that we are not stressing, some of these parts, the vowels there are reduced into a schwa. So the first one we have tomato. So the first letter O is reduced into a schwa. Tomato. Deposit. Deposit. In the word deposit, we don't have a schwa. Excuse me. We don't have a schwa in the word deposit. The E is reduced into the A sound. Remember I told you there are 3 vowels we can reduce our vowels into. So it is reduced into A sound, not the schwa sound. Same with zit. It is also reduced into a sound, deposit. So there is no schwa sound in deposit. Then we have banana. There are 2 schwas in the word banana. In a word, we can have more than 1 schwa. We can even have more than 2 schwas. It depends on how long the word is. It depends on how long the word is. So we have tomato, we have banana. Now let's take another rule. Another rule that talks about stressing words in their second syllable says that trisyllabic words ending in ANT, ION, IOUS, and IC are also stressed on their second syllable. They are stressed on their second syllables. So when you have a word that has 3 syllables, and the word ends in ANT, such word should be stressed on its second syllable. So take, for example, should I have the word abandoned? Abandoned. I'm stressing the second syllable. So the vowels in the first and the last syllables are articulated as a schwa. Abundant. Abundant, not abundant. So we should not say abundant. We should say abundant. Abundant. Another word, I can have the word repentant. Repentant. Excuse me. Repentant. So the E in the first syllable and the A in the second syllable are both articulated as a schwa. Repentant, not repentant. Repentant. Now let's go to ION words. If I also have a word that ends in ION, if I have a word that ends in ION and the word has 3 syllables, I should also stress the second syllables. For example, suggestion, suggestion. Suggestion. The S before the TN makes the TI to sound like CH. Suggestion. So the U in suggest, the first U, changes in the TION as well. The vowel there becomes a schwa. So there are 2 schwas in that word. Suggestion. We also have the word excursion. Excursion. In the word excursion, we have 1 schwa. That is in the vowel SION. The E is reduced into A. Excursion. So in the SION, we have a schwa there. Excursion. Let's go to words with IOUS ending. So if I have a word like delicious, 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 the IOUS, so the vowel there, IOU, becomes a schwa, delicious. The first syllable, we are not stressing it. However, the E becomes a instead of a schwa. That's why we say delicious. So the schwa is in the last syllable, the IOUS in the last syllable. We can also have a word like nutritious, nutritious, nutritious. So just like we had in delicious, nutritious as well, the schwa is in the last syllable, nutritious. And lastly, we have words with IC, words with IC ending. So I can have the word domestic, domestic, not domestic, domestic. The letter O changes to a schwa, domestic. I can also have the word electric. Okay, in electric, I don't have a schwa in the word electric. I can have phonetic, yes, phonetic, phonetic. So I have a schwa in the first syllable, phonetic. So let me take this second rule again. Or is it the third rule? The third rule says words that have 3 syllables and end in ANT, ION, IOUS, IC are stressed on their second syllable. You stress them on their second syllable. We have abandoned. There's a schwa at the beginning. There's a schwa also at the ending syllable. Abandoned. Repentant. There's a schwa at the ending syllable. Repentant. Question. The schwa is also at the ending syllable. Excursion. The schwa is at the last syllable. Excursion. Delicious. Nutritious. Domestic. For domestic, the schwa is on the first syllable. Domestic. Phonetic. The schwa is also on the first syllable. Phonetic. Please let me know if you understand the two rules I just went through. Please let me know if you understood it. Please let me know if you understood the 2 rules I just went through now. So we can go to the last set of rules. You have been given access to unmute. So you need to click on your microphone to unmute yourself. Let me know if the last 2 rules that I gave are clear so I can proceed.
Okay. Hello?
I can hear you, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Sorry, when I couldn't hear you. There was it got a point I couldn't hear you. Okay. On this word, abundant. These numbers that are written in capital letter. So what's the difference between the ones written in capital letter and in small letter?
They are the stressed syllables. The stressed syllables are written in capital letter. The ones that are not stressed are written in small letter.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
That the
Clear?
question you have?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello,
I
ma'am.
want to. Okay. There was a word I said, sustainable. Though I don't think it's part of the categories you told us. Sustainable. Now that ends with BLE. Where would the stress syllable be?
Okay, ma'am.
Sustainable.
So we are stressing tain. It means that we are not stressing the other part. If I want to pronounce it, I'll go sustainable. 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 So the tain is the part that I will say louder, longer, and clearer. The other part, I will not say it loud, I will not say it long, I will not say it clear.
Okay.
Sustainable. So the letter A in that word and the letter E, they become schwas.
Okay.
So there are 3 schwas in this word. Sustainable. There are 3 schwas in this word. Sustainable.
Sustainable. Sustainable. Sustainable.
So can I proceed, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, we can proceed.
Okay. So to the last set of rules, the rule says that There are also some 3-syllable words that we naturally stress on their 3rd syllables. Examples of such words, we can have the word magazine. Magazine. We're stressing the last part, zine. Mager. So the 2nd syllable, ger, the vowel there reduced into a schwa, mager. Not maga, mager, mager, magazine.
Magazine.
We can also have the word recommend, excuse me. Recommend. Recommend has 1 C. Recommend. So we're stressing the last syllable, mend. Recker. So the O in the 2nd syllable makes the schwa. Recommend. Instead of recommend. 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 We can also have the word understand. Understand.
Recommend.
Understand. So the rule that governs these words states that some trisyllabic words are naturally stressed on their 2nd syllable. Like in magazine, recommend, and understand. So for these words, the first one, magazine, we have 1 syllable, 1 schwa. Somebody smoking. Magazine. The second one, we have recommend. Recommend. And for the last one, we have understand. Understand. So now then we have another rule. The rule states that trisyllabic words trisyllabic words ending in EE and EER are also stressed on their 3rd syllables.
Understand.
So for example, if I have the word referee, instead of referee, the word is referee.
Referee.
Yes. So the 2nd syllable is a schwa. Excuse me. Referee instead of referee. We can also have the word overseer. 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 So the E and R here makes the schwa sound. Overseer. Referee. Overseer. We can have guarantee, addressee, and so many other words. So the strategy here is, excuse me, if the word has 3 syllables and it ends in EE or it ends in EER, then we stress the last syllable. So then the other syllables that we aren't stressing, we can have schwas in them. Means that we can reduce one of the vowels, or it could be more than one, into a schwa, like we had in referee. Over, instead of over, we say overseer. Overseer. Then we have magazine, recommend, understand. So what I'm trying to explain here is that The schwa is mostly found in unstressed syllables. So the schwa appears mostly in unstressed syllables of multisyllabic words. Multisyllabic words are words that have more than one syllables. So it could be a 4-syllabic word, 5, 6, 7, 8, as many as possible.
Yeah.
So we have about, teacher, computer, bananas. These are a few examples, and then we have also learned other examples. So let's practice with some sentences. All right, some sentences on the board that we'll practice together. Oh, Father. This rain has been disturbing for this. Okay. 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 Madam Mary, please take the first reading. Madam Mary, can you hear me? Oh, you're muted. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
I can. First sentence.
The referee and the
Referee.
the referee and the engineer are
Engineer.
friends.
Engineer. Remember, Engineer ends in EER, so you're stressing near. Says engineer.
The referee and the engineer are friends.
Okay, good. Madam Madesola, please take the second sentence.
Okay.
The second sentence.
We recommend that the hunter should stop cigarettes.
So the hunter. There's a sure also in hunter. Hunter has two syllables. Hunter.
Hunter.
And
Okay,
the word is cigarette. Cigarette. So there is a sure in g. Cigarette. We're stressing red. Cigarette. We recommend that the hunter should stop cigarette.
So where is the sure in the hunter? Is it the tail part of
the E and the R?
Okay.
We recommend.
Madam Mary, please take the third sentence.
I should take it again.
Third sentence.
Okay. The new accountant is hard working.
Accountant.
The new accountant is hard working.
There are two sures. Accountant. The new accountant.
The new accountant is hard working.
Okay. Madam Madesola, the fourth sentence.
Okay. Banana is very nutritious. Banana very nutritious.
Correct. Number 5 sentence, Madam Mary.
Yesterday was a memorable day for me.
Memorable. Memorable. Yes.
Today was a memorable day for me.
Number Madam Madesola.
The messenger imitates the gardener.
Imitates.
Okay. The messenger imitates the gardener.
Very well. So let's switch the sentences. So Madam Madesola, you take the first one. Madam Mary will take the second. Madam Madesola will take the third. Madam Mary will take the fourth. Madam Madesola will take the fifth. And Madam Mary will take the sixth. So let's go about that again.
Okay, the referee and the engineer are friends.
Okay.
The
referee.
And the engineer are friends.
Okay, Madam Mary.
Okay. We recommend that the hunter should stop cigarette. We recommend that the hunter should stop cigarette.
Madam Madesola.
Okay. We recommend the hunter should stop cigarette.
Madam Madesola, number 3.
Okay, the new accountant is hardworking. Accountant. That one is a sure at the end. The new accountant.
Yes, it has sure at the end.
Accountant. Accountant is hardworking.
Number 4, ma'am. Mary, Miss Mary, number 4.
Banana. Banana is very
Madam Madesola, number 5.
Yesterday was a memorable day for me.
Memo, not memo. Memorable day.
Memorable. Yesterday was a memorable day for me.
Okay, Madam Mary.
the main stager into the garden.
Very well. Well done, everyone. So the key here is when we have a word that has more than one syllable, we should consciously know that a schwa should be somewhere. So one of the things that can help us identify what the schwa is to check the dictionary. So when you check the dictionary, you find the schwas at certain positions. So as you approach the schwa, you want to make sure you're not saying it loud. You're not saying it because it is an unstressed syllable. Because it is an unstressed syllable. Now we can also use the schwa in function words.
Okay.
When we read sentences, we can also find the schwa in function words. So what are function words? Function words are words that do not add meaning to our sentences. So function words are words like article. Like in the first sentence I gave, we have article the. Excuse me. We have a pronoun are. We have conjunction and. These are articles. So if I come to you and I just say referee, engineer, friends, even though you don't have a clear understanding of what I'm saying, you would have an idea that I'm talking about a referee and an engineer and then friends. So in the first sentence, referee is a content word. There are two types of words in a sentence. We have the content words and the function words. The content words are the words that carry the meaning. According to the name, content are the one that carries the meaning you're trying to pass in your sentence. In this sentence, the referee and the engineer are friends. The content word I have referee. Referee is a content word. It carries meaning. Engineer is a content word. It carries meaning. Friend is another content word. It carries meaning. So if I come to you and I just say referee, engineer, friends, you would have an idea of what I'm saying. But if I come to you and I say the and are, you would not understand what I'm saying at all. So these words that do not carry meanings, they are the function words. So function words are words that we have in a sentence that do not add to the meaning of that sentence. They only make the sentence grammatically correct. So without the, and are, this sentence will not be grammatically correct. So I needed the function words to make the sentence grammatically correct. But the words that really carries meaning, that help me understand what I'm saying in that sentence, are the content words. So when we are reading a sentence, the function words are usually also reduced into schwa. The vowels in the function words, we should also reduce them into a schwa. So for example, THE is pronounced the. But because it is not adding any meaning to this sentence, I should reduce it and say the referee instead of the referee. The referee and the A and D is naturally pronounced and the. But because these two words are also function words, the A here should be reduced into a schwa. The E here should be reduced into schwa also. And the engineer reference. Now take note, THE can be reduced in two different ways. If you have a sentence where the next word after THE starts with a consonant, the vowel that will be reduced into a schwa. That is because the next word after THE is a consonant. But if the next word after THE is a vowel, then the E will be reduced into E. I told you earlier that we can reduce vowels into 3 different vowels. Some are reduced into a schwa, some are reduced into A, others are reduced into E. So if the next word that I have after THE starts with a consonant, the E here should be reduced into E and not a schwa. So if I read the sentence, it becomes the referee and the engineer. The same words but pronounced differently. The referee, still the same way we learned how to pronounce it. The referee and the instead of and the becomes and the engineer friends. So if we go to the second sentence, the content words here, the words that carry meaning, I have recommend, I have enter, I have cigarette, I have stop. Others don't have meaning to it. They only make the sentence correct. So if I come to you and I say recommend Hunter stop cigarette, you have an idea that, okay, Hunter should stop cigarette, something like that. But if I come to you and I just say we, that, we, you would not have any understanding. So these are function words. The function words, again, we change the vowels there into a syllable. So instead of saying we, I would say we recommend that the, instead of that, the becomes that the hunter showed, instead of should, it becomes showed. We have syllables, we have schwas here. That the hunter should stop cigarette. So aside from we stressing the words that have 2 or 3 syllables in that sentence, we should also stress we should also make sure we are not stressing the function words. We recommend that the hunter should stop cigarette. Now, Madam Mary, please try to do number 3. Please tell me, where are the function words in number 3? Do we have any function words in number 3?
Yes. B.
Please name them.
Is.
There is. Has any other one?
New can be function. New.
Okay, new is a content word because it gives you more information about the accountant. It lets you know that we are talking about the new accountant, not the old. So new is a content word. If I come to you and I just say accountant, hardworking, you'd have an understanding. But if I come and still say new accountant, hardworking, you have a better understanding. So you're correct with the and new. So THE here, should we change it to a schwa or not?
The THE?
Yeah, should we change the vowel to a schwa?
Yes.
Why?
Because
we should change it to a schwa. The reason is because we should change it to a schwa. The reason is because the next word starts with a consonant. I explained it here. When you have THE, the next word starts with a consonant. You change the vowel into a schwa. But if you have THE and the next word starts with a vowel, you don't change into a schwa. So you're correct. We should change it into a schwa because new start with a consonant N. Then is also, we change it into a schwa. So please read the sentence considering all the schwas. All the schwas there, the ones in the ones in accountant, the ones in is. Read the sentence, ma'am.
The new accountant is the new
is is the new occupant is hard working. Okay. Madam Madesola, please let's work with number 4. Is there any function words in number 4?
We have the is and the is and very, maybe very. Banana nutrition is very.
Very is not a function word, it's a content word. Very and new, they are doing the same thing. Very here is an adverb. It's telling us more about nutritious. New here as well is telling us more about accountant, though new is an adjective. So very is the content word. If I come and say banana nutritious, you'd have an understanding. But if I come and also say banana very nutritious, you'd have a better understanding.
Okay.
So the only function word we have in number 4 is. So we can change it into sure. So please read the sentence again. Pay attention to all the sures in this sentence.
Banana is very nutritious.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Banana is very nutritious. Banana
Very,
is very,
not very.
Okay, very.
Not very.
Okay, sorry. My own pronunciation, is it Yoruba pronunciation I'm using? Or I'm not
You're
doing
using a
the
flat
right
tone. You're using
I'm
a
using
flat tone. It's not very, it's very.
very, okay. Banana is very nutritious. Okay.
That's better. Madam Mary, please work with number 5. Can you identify the function words?
Okay. Number 5. Yes. Okay. The first short word. A.
Okay.
For. A. For.
Banana.
I think that's all.
Okay. Was is also a function word. Was.
Yes. Was.
Me is also a function word. Me is also a function word, but me, the vowel here changes into E instead of a sure. But it is a function word, even though it's not changing into a sure.
Changes into what? I didn't get
E.
that.
E.
E.
So instead of saying me, you say me.
Okay.
So please read the sentence. Read number 5 sentence.
Yesterday was a memorable day for me.
For me, very well. Madam Maleshala, number 6, please identify the function words.
The.
Okay.
Okay. The messenger imitates the cloud.
Is there any other sure? Is there any other function words rather?
Okay, let me start. We just THE.
Yes, the 2 TH is there. So please read the sentence, ma'am.
The messenger imitates the gardener.
Very well. Good. So it means that once we see sentences, we won't pay attention to where we should not say the words loud, we should not say the words long, we should not say the words clear because of the sure. First, once you have words that have more than one syllable, consciously know that there is a sure in there. Second, once you have words that are function words, words that do not add meanings to your sentence, there should be function words there as well. So you've been able to put your voices down where you have the sure sounds and put your voices up where you don't have the sure sound. That would make your voice not to be flat, like I mentioned earlier. Once your voice is flat, you start to sound Nigerian, or you start to sound like you're not a native English speaker. In English, we do not speak flat. Your voice has to go up, down, up, down, up, down. But you need to know those places where it should go up, down, so that you do not sound like you're just singing or you're speaking off key. The referee and the engineer are friends. We recommend that the hunter should stop cigarette. The new accountant is hard working. Banana is very nutritious. Yesterday was a memorable day for me. The messenger imitates the gardener. So we have a home task to do. Please take a screenshot of this page. You do a voice note and then you send it to me. The parts in bold are the parts where you have sures. The parts that are bolded, the letters that are bolded, are the letters that changes into sure. Some of them are acting as a function word. Some are acting because they are in a word that has more than one syllable. So you do a voice note of it and you send it to me.
Reading practice, okay.
Are you taking the screenshots?
Okay, screenshots. Okay. Okay, well, I'm not taking
it. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So I'll wait the submission. I'll send the link to the replay to you. So
Okay.
thank you. Can we meet also tomorrow same time? Yeah, same
yes,
time.
that's fine.
Okay. Madam Madesola, is that okay too?
I won't be around. Only I'm going for a site. So I invited you for a site inspection.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, tomorrow you are going for inspection. Wow.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so should we do? I won't be available on Thursday.
About time.
Tomorrow is Tuesday. I have a class for 5 in the evening.
Okay, you won't be available on Thursday.
No, I won't be. Okay, tomorrow we still have Wednesday, right? No, I will not be
Yes.
available on Thursday. And we can do
Okay.
Wednesday. Hold on, please.
Or Friday.
I wanted us to round off today. We have 2 more this week, rather. We have 2 more
Okay.
classes to go. So if we could meet twice again this week,
Okay.
we'll be done. Hold on, please. I'm trying to check my schedule for Wednesday. Where's that chart? Okay, I'll send it to you. I can't seem to find it, so I don't delete you. I'll send the time that I think I'll be available on Wednesday to you. So if we could meet on Wednesday and maybe on Friday, that can work. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. I'll let you know what time Wednesday might work and then on
Okay.
Thursday. Yes, ma'am. Have a great evening.
Hello. Thank you
Yes,
very
ma'am.
much. I sent you my panel question.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. How should the opening be?
Okay. And for most panel sessions, it's like a question and answer session. They ask you a question, you reply. They ask you a question, you reply. Now, sometimes they allow you to say a word of welcome. Sometimes they do not. So it depends on the event. It depends on how it's been structured. So if you're allowed to say an opening speech, or not an opening speech, like an opening words, just like 1 or 2 words before you start your panel session as a panelist, I think one of the things you can do is to thank the host for the opportunity to be there, and of course to show your excitement, or to say something about the topic. It might be something like, maybe the topic has been a topic that you have always wanted to talk about, or maybe it's a topic that you have a connection with, or you should state why you think that you are one of the best fits for such topic. So for example, I appreciate the host for giving me the opportunity to be on such a stage with distinguished colleagues. If you know every other person is in real estate, or with distinguished individuals if you're not sure if they're all in, right? So my name is this. I am, if you have a title or an organization, blah, 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 then you can say that I'm excited to explore this topic. As a woman, I think we never talked about a woman. As a woman, you could
Yes.
leverage the fact that have women supporting women. Because as a woman, one of the things that have helped me grow this fast is women supporting women. I know it's a cliche where people feel like women compete with each other, but deep down, we do not really compete, something like that. Or you could use it to state your belief. It all depends on the topic and also your experience. You're talking about experience. Let's even say maybe you have a recent experience about such topic. So I could start by saying that, let's assume I was just introduced to the stage. So I start by saying that I recently had an experience that made me realize that as much as we feel like women supporting women is just a statement or a cliche, we do really support each other. Maybe not all the times, or maybe not when we expect. A few days ago, something happened. It might just be a little thing that happened at the supermarket or at the market or somewhere. Or it could even be a video you watched online, just to introduce that topic to them. So I'm really excited today to be sitting on the panel where we'll be discussing how women have been helping each other, something like that. So it all depends from the angle you're coming from. I really can't remember the topic. I think the only part I can remember is that part of women.
Let me see this. I have it here now. My journey as a woman. That's in, yes, my journey as a woman, the challenges you have faced, and how you have navigated them to become successful today.
Okay. So if you don't want to come from the part of women supporting women, you could come from the part of real estate industry. So it could be like, so I could share it as something that recently happened. Maybe I recently met a colleague of mine from somewhere where I was working before, or I could just come out and say, "Good morning, everyone. Thank you to the organizers for bringing us together to discuss the power of real estate." Let's say you're not talking from the angle of women supporting women, the power of real estate, and of course to share my experience on my difficulties, challenges, setback, and of course my wins. I've been working in the field for so years, so I can tell you that I have first-hand experience as both a woman and a real estate, I don't know if it's a real estate consultant or a real estate. So I believe that I have so much to share on this panel. Or I'm eager to even share my experience on this panel. Thank you. So that can go. It all depends. They are from different angles. Just what you just want to make sure you're doing is you want to be authentic. To get your opening, it is important to first answer all the questions they might ask you. Remember, I told you to get those questions if they are willing to have an idea of what, so that you can, they would really be eating you from. Are you the only woman on the panel list?
No, we are six.
Six. Okay, you're all
yes,
women. Are you all women?
Yes, we are all women.
Yes, I think it is safe.
It's actually in celebration of the Women's Day.
Okay. So I think it is safe to ask for specific questions. I think it is safe to ask for specific questions. Get answers to those questions. So, well, as you get answers to them, that is what will give you an idea of what the opening should really be like. But in all, whatever opening you're using, there are different ways to have your opening. It can be to establish relevance, to let people know that this is why you're worthy to be one of the panelists. It can be to engage the audience. If you're engaging the audience, you want to ask them a question that would lead to your answers as you begin the panel session, right? It might be to share a story of something that recently happened to you, right? It might be to just introduce yourself on the count of your name, your profession, and that you're happy to be here, or just to acknowledge those who invited you. There are different ways you can have your opening, and you can have a mixture of all of this. But one thing that is clear, that is important, is first, everything you'll be saying in the panel during the panel session must click with your opening. So I think it is important to first answer your questions first, or if they do not provide you with questions, in your mind, conclude on the part you want to focus more on. Is it the part of real estate or the part of women? Which part do you want to shine more? You want to use an opportunity?
It's actually on the part of real estate, then how you've been able to,
part.
empower other women.
Okay, if that is the part, then your opening should be focused more on that. Your opening should be in that angle. So while you do that, be authentic, let your personality shine through. Talk from your own experience. Acknowledge those that have helped you, right? And of course, tailor your remarks. Don't just make it all about you. Let it be about your audience as well. And then always refer back to what other panelists have said. Maybe they have said something that contributes to what you're saying. So refer to them, what other panelists have said as well. So mainly that's just it. There's no how you can bring up your opening. It all just depends on you. Okay, do you have any other question, ma'am?
Yeah. Okay.
What did you say,
I have one opening here. I just jotted something. That's my opening.
Okay, you can send it to me.
I don't know if I can read it. If I can read it to you.
I think you should send it to me if you need to improve on it, so that I can really see it and every work on it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma'am. Do we have any other question?
No.
Madam Madesola, do you have any other question? Madam Madesola, are you there? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. I'll let you know the timing for Wednesday if we can meet.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
All right.